Welcome back, everyone. In part one, we dove into why Stanley Kubrick made such a bold choice in changing the color of the VW Beetle from red, as it was in Stephen King's novel, to yellow, as it is in the Shining film. We examined how Kubrick was referencing the monster Ted Bundy with a yellow VW symbolism. In part two, we're going to look into the Kubrick versus King, a creative conflict theory. Let's start with the well known tension between Kubrick and King. Kubrick's The Shining was a far cry from King's original novel, and Stephen King was famously vocal about his disapproval of Kubrick's adaptation. Their differences in storytelling styles were stark. King focused on a more straightforward horror rooted in the supernatural, while Kubrick leaned into the psychological horror and symbolism. One of the most striking changes Kubrick made was to alter the color of the Torrance family beetle from red, which it was in King's book, to yellow. Why? Some believe it was a not so subtle way of Kubrick giving the metaphorical finger to King, signaling that this was his version of the story. King's beetle is dead, symbolically, in Kubrick's film universe. How rude. The next clip will show how Kubrick put a red beetle right smack dab into an accident. Please watch. Also, fun fact, Hal and Charlie are real life 1970s, 80s radio stars in Denver, Colorado. What a treat to listen to.
Well, good morning. You're with Hal and Charlie on Radio 63, KHOW Denver. And Charlie, we have what you call your bad day out there.
What you call your heavy snow, snowing hard throughout the Denver metro area. Many of the mountain passes, Wolf Creek and Red Mountain passes are already closed, and the chain law is in effect right now at the Eisenhower Tunnel.
I guess we just heard from the news department, Charlie. Only a few of the flights are still landing out at Stapleton International Airport. And with these early storms like this, I guess the entire airport will probably be closed within the hour.
Yeah, they're just not prepared. The storm will continue throughout the day, and the National Weather Service has declared as Stockman's.
As you see, Halloran does pass a squashed red Volkswagen Beetle bug. The Beetle bug was squashed between two semis. There does seem to be a very symbolic message that Kubrick is sending to Stephen King. I'm now going to show you a photograph of the Overlook Hotel on closing day, October 30th, 1975. Look, if you will, at the red Volkswagen Beetle bug that actually has band-aids on it. How symbolic is that? Kubrick definitely had issues with Stephen King. Don't get me wrong, Stephen King took every opportunity to speak poorly about the movie The Shining in public. But Stanley struck first, right? There does seem to be a very symbolic message that Kubrick is sending to Stephen King. Stanley drew First Blood. Okay, up next is a picture that says definitely no king. Well, I'm thinking that this means Stephen King. This is a no smoking sign that someone covered up the smoke part of it and kept king. So the sign reads definitely no king. Anyone else think that Stanley Kubrick's being a bit of a bastard? Well, that is the second reason why I think that Stanley Kubrick changed the color of the VW bug from red to yellow in The Shining. Please stay tuned for part 3, where I will share My third and final reason why I think Stanley Kubrick changed the color of the Volkswagen Beetle from red to yellow in The Shining. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for your time. Please like, subscribe, and share. And have a great day. And keep shining.